also have to B and J.
Thank you, David. All right, I will call to order the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024. To all persons interested in or affected by the action of the Zoning Board of Appeals, you're hereby notified pursuant to Section 11 of Chapter 48 of the General Laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and all amendments thereto that a public hearing on the following appeals will be held at 7 p.m. The Zoning Board of Appeals public hearing will be held by remote participation methods. Public access to this meeting shall be provided in the following manner. The meeting will be televised live via Xfinity Channel 8 or High Definition Channel 1072. It may also be accessed via Government Access Channel live stream on the Town of Barnstable's website, http://streaming85.townofbarnstable.us/cablecast public site/watch/1 Real-time access to the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting is available by utilizing the Zoom link or telephone number and meeting ID provided. Public comment can be addressed to the Zoning Board of Appeals by utilizing the Zoom link or telephone number. The Zoom link is https://townofbarnstable-us.zoom.us/j/86374225553 or calling 888-475-4499 and entering the meeting ID 863-7422-5553. Applicants, their representatives, individuals required or entitled to appear before the Zoning Board of Appeals may appear remotely and may participate through accessing the link or telephone number provided above. Documentary exhibits and or visual presentations should be submitted in advance of the meeting to anna.brigham@town.barnstable.ma.us so that they may be displayed by remote public access viewing. Copies of the applications are available for review by calling 508-862-4682 or emailing anna.brigham@town.barnstable.ma.us. I will call the meeting to order by introducing board members. Herb Bodenseek.
I'm present.
Paul Pinard.
Present.
Mark Hansen.
Present.
Aaron Webb.
Present.
Denise Johnson is absent. Larry Hurwitz.
Present.
Manny Owls.
Present.
All right, and I am Jacob Dewey. Notice of recording this meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals is being recorded and broadcast on the Town of Barnstable's Government Access Channel in accordance with MGL Chapter 38, Section 20, and must inquire whether anyone has recorded this meeting, and if so, to please make their presence known. Seeing none, we have two minutes to approve, March 27, 2024 and April 10, 2024. Does anyone have any questions on the minutes or comments?
I have one note, actually, Mr. Chair. Paul Pinard did email me a couple things he noticed from the March 27 meeting minutes. There was a document missing from the listed documents from the meeting. There was a typo on page 3, so if there's nothing else, if you could vote as.
Okay. Any comment?
Make a motion to approve as amended.
Second.
All right, roll call vote to approve as amended. Herb Bodenseek.
In favor.
Paul Pinard.
Yeah, I'm in favor of the 27th and abstain on the 10th because I wasn't here.
Okay. Mark Hansen.
I'm in favor.
Larry Hurwitz.
In favor.
Manny Owls.
In favor.
And I am also in favor. So that moves us. So Mark has to go, and because has to leave sort of promptly tonight, and because he was one of the people sitting on appeal number 2024-011, we're going to go out of order here if no one has any objections so that he can tend to his business. So we're going to take appeal number 2024-011773 South Main Street LLC as applied to modify condition number 4 of appeal number 2019-005 to allow for additional accessory structure on the property, and also applied for a special permit in accordance with 240-125 Zoning Board of Appeals. The applicant proposes to construct an approximately 12-foot by 20.5-foot in-ground pool approximately 3 feet from the westerly property line where 15 feet is required. The subject property is located at 773 South Main Street, Centerville, Mass, as shown on Assessor's Map 185 as parcel 013. It's located in the Craigville Beach District, CBD, and the Central River North Bank, CRNB, Neighborhood Overlay Zoning District. This was continued from April 10, 2024. Anna, you can confirm, but I believe the members sitting on this are Herb, Paul, Mark, Aaron, and Larry.
It is Herb, Manny, Larry, yeah, Aaron and Mark.
All right. I did not recuse myself, but I'm not voting on this, so I'll continue to administer this, I guess. Is that correct, Anna?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, Attorney Cox, we're ready
Thank you.
for your updates.
Super, thank you, and a good evening, members of the board. For the record, Eliza Cox on behalf of the applicant, which is also the owner of the property. As the chair indicated, we were previously before the board on April 10th with this application, and at the time, the direct abutter to this property through council expressed some concerns regarding this proposal, and we asked the board for a continuance so that we could engage in conversation with that abutter and also look closely at the proposed plan to see if there were changes that we could make in response to the comments that we heard. I am pleased to report that we've had productive conversations with the abutter through council, and we submitted about a week ago a revised plan, which I'm gonna try and share. Bear with me 1 second. Can everyone see my screen? Okay, great. So this is the plan that, again, we submitted this to the board together with a cover letter, so hopefully you've had a chance to review it, but I'll just quickly walk through the changes that we've made since the initial hearing. Here, of course, is South Main Street. Here is the Centerville River. This is the subject property. And here is the proposed dipping pool that is the subject of this application. So there have been numerous changes. First, the size of the dipping pool has been decreased. Initially, the previously filed plan, or the originally filed plan, had the dipping pool proposed at 12 feet by 20.5 feet. And I'll just zoom in. And as you can see, the size has now been decreased to 10 feet by 19 feet, so it's a reduction of about 56 square feet versus the original proposal. In addition, we've also shifted the pool away from the abutting property and towards the main house on the property. So that increases the setback to over 8 feet at its closest point, and then about a little over 9 feet from this corner. In addition, there was some discussion at the hearing as to how far this pool is from various features on the abutting property. This plan shows those dimensions using the GIS information that's available. So at its closest point, the proposed dipping pool would be a little over 20 areas that are proposed to be reconfigured to remove the gravel and put conservation mixed plantings in that space. As a result, the total hardscape is proposed to be reduced by 65 square feet. Previously, I think we were around 40 square feet reduction in hardscape, so that also increases with these plan changes. We're very pleased to see a letter that was submitted by the abutter indicating their appreciation for these changes and suggesting a couple conditions, which I also want to review with you, and with those withdrawing their opposition to this project. So the conditions that we had discussed with the abutter and we're asking the board to consider, the first is that the proposed development shall represent full build out of the lot. Further expansion of the dwelling or construction of additional accessory structures is prohibited without prior approval from the board. That condition actually exists already on the property in the last decision, and I think automatically would be carried through with any decision from this board on this application, but we're fine with that explicitly being included in the conditions, and it also already was a suggested condition of the staff report that was submitted for this application. The second condition that we're asking the board to consider after a consultation with the abutter is a condition, and my client would agree to this, that we will not commence construction before October 1st, 2024. And then a couple of just typos because of these changes to the suggested conditions in the staff report. The first is condition 1 of the staff report cites the old dimensions of the pool that has, as I mentioned, been decreased. So the new dimensions are 10 feet by 19 feet. And in addition, condition 2 of the staff report references the old revision date. So we would ask if the board is inclined to approve this, that it condition it on the plan that I just submitted or that has been submitted and that I just showed to you, which has a revision date of May 14th, 2024. With this, I think I'll pause. I hope the board is also pleased with these changes and happy to answer any questions that you may have, and I'll stop sharing my screen.
Thank you, Attorney Cox. Does anyone from the board have questions?
I just have one, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Attorney Cox, is there an approximate timeline? So let's say it does start October 1st. Is there an a timeline to completion that they're figuring?
I don't know the answer to that. I think the intention would be to start right after that agreed upon date. And then I would imagine it's a couple months, but I don't know exactly how long it will take to complete.
Okay. I mean, I'm assuming that because they didn't want the start date for a certain point that, it's kind of open-ended at this point, something like Memorial Day next year. I mean, they shouldn't be working on this thing again into the season where it's going to inhibit their use or whatever, through construction. So I'm just curious about that. That's all.
I think the intention would be to start right away after that October 1st date.
Any other board members with questions?
Just one, if I may, Mr. Chairman. Attorney Cox, in addition to in the conditions, the suggested conditions in the staff report, in addition to changing the dimensions of the pool, also the distance from the property needs to be changed, right? I mean, you went from 3 feet, which was the original plan.
Correct.
Now 8 feet, is that right?
So yes, I don't think the conditions explicitly have that setback. What the conditions do have is a reference to the plan. So the plan shows it at, 8.03 feet with the May 14th, 2024 plan. If you wanted to explicitly say, that distance, I have no problem with that. Otherwise, I think conditioning the project to be constructed in conformance with the plan has the same effect.
Well, I think it does say approximately 3 feet from the westerly property line. The one I'm looking at anyway. So, but I agree with you. As long as we link it to the revised plan, we'd get to the same place.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I missed that. It does say that in there. It should be 8.03 feet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions before we go to public comment? All right. So I will open public comment. We did receive the one letter today. Not sure if it's loading in Laserfiche, but I have it from the email from Patricia Carlson, trustee of the 773 South Main Street LLC. And she did write a letter saying, based on the conditions we just discussed, she would be in favor of, actually, I should rephrase that. She did not say she was in favor. She would withdraw her disapproval of it, her objection. Are there any other members of the public here to speak to this? All right. Seeing none, I'll make a motion. We close public comment.
I'll second that.
All right, roll call vote on closing public comment. Herb Bodenseek,
In favor.
Paul Pinard,
In favor.
Mark Hansen,
In favor.
Aaron Webb,
In favor.
Larry Hurwitz,
In favor.
Manny Alves,
In favor.
and I am also in favor. So that closes public comment and brings it back to the board for deliberation, or if someone wants to make findings. Does anyone have any thoughts? Or
I'd like to see, even if it's 7 months out, I'd like to see a completion date or something that, you know, I know they're gonna start it on October 1st, but these things have a tendency to linger. And I'm assuming, unless Ms. Carlson doesn't have any, you know, any objection, I think she might be online. I don't know.
Attorney Cox, are you in favor? Are you okay with if we put a completion date by Memorial Day weekend of 2025? I don't have that date in front of me, but, or, you know, work stops between those dates and October 1st of 2025. Would your client be in agreement with that?
Yeah, I think that would be fine. And obviously, if there's an issue, we'll come back and look to change that. But I think that would be fine.
All right, my only thoughts are that I am applaud both parties here in working this out. It's been a long, arduous process from the applicant as well as the abutter, and you know, good things seem to have happened here, and I appreciate the effort to address the concerns of both the abutter and so I'm very pleased with this at this point, and in complete favor of this applicant. So. That being said, I'm not in favor of making findings tonight. I will if I need to, but Manny, you look like you're ready.
I actually, I wanted to also applaud the parties. This is how it should work.
Yeah, I agree. This is a prime example of example of how these things should get worked out. But anyway, I understood sometimes that's not the way.
Coming with to the board with an agreed upon approach that I think everybody can live with. So kudos. Well done. Nobody wants to, I'll do it.
Go for it, Manny.
Did you want to say something, Herb? I saw your hand up there.
Nope, I'm all set.
Okay, sorry.
Thanks.
Okay. That said, on application for special permit number 2024-011, South 773 South Main Street LLC has applied to modify condition number 4 of appeal number 2019-005 to allow an additional accessory structure on the property. The applicant proposes to construct an approximately, now I gotta go back and look at the revised dimensions. 10 feet by 19 foot in-ground pool, approximately 8.02 feet away from the abutter's property line, where that section not true. The 15 feet is not required. The subject property is located at 773 South Main Street, Centerville, Mass, as shown on Assessors Map 185 as parcel 013. Also located in the Creedon Beach District in the Centerville River North Bank Neighborhood Overlay District. I'm referencing the staff report dated March 28, 2024. My findings are that this application falls within a category specifically accepted in the ordinance for grant of a special permit. And that after all of the evidence presented in the two hearings we've had on, actually more than one, because this was initially presented and withdrawn without prejudice, but in the two most recent hearings, I think the proposal fulfills the spirit and intent of the zoning ordinance and would not represent a substantial detriment to the public good or neighborhood affected, as evidenced by the fact that the direct abutter who initially opposed the original application appreciates what they call meaningful changes that the applicant has made to allow this to be built and not infringe on the ability of the abutter to enjoy that property. So I find that this would not represent a substantial detriment to the public good or the neighborhood affected, in that the single-family nature of the property and of the accessory nature of the detached structure are preserved. Those would be my findings.
All right, so Manny made a motion to approve appeal number 2024-011 with the findings as read. Do we have a second?
Second.
I'll second that.
All right, and roll call vote on approval. Herb Bodenseek,
In favor.
Aaron Webb,
I'm in favor.
Larry Hurwitz,
In favor.
Manny Alves,
In favor.
and Mark Hansen.
I'm in favor.
All right, and then Manny, conditions?
Yeah, the conditions are as outlined, numbered 1 through 5 in the staff report dated March 28, 24, with the following amendments. On condition number 1, as was mentioned earlier, the dimensions of the pool have changed. It says 12 by 20.5. It should be 10 by 19 feet. Also, it states that it would be approximately 3 feet from the westerly property line. That's actually 8.02 now. So those are the amendments to condition number 1. Condition number 2 should be amended to reflect the date on the revised plan, which I believe is May 14th. Let's double check it.
That's right.
Yep. May 14th. And an additional condition, I guess condition 6, will be added to indicate that the work on the start of the work to dig out and construct this pool will not begin before October 2024, October 1, 2024, but must be completed by
May 26th.
May 26, 2025, unless otherwise approved by the board. And I think, is the full build out already in there?
Yes, that's condition 3.
Yeah, 3.
It is straight. So those will be the amendments to the conditions outlined in the staff report dated March 28, 24. And I move that the board adopt those as conditions.
All right, roll call vote on the conditions. Herb Bodenseek,
I'm in favor.
Mark Hansen,
I'm in favor.
Aaron Webb,
In favor.
Larry Hurwitz,
I'm in favor.
and Manny Alves.
In favor.
All right, Attorney Cox, you have your special permit amendment.
Super. Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mark, especially for jumping in on this.
Oh, no worries. No worries. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right.
All right, Mark, you out of here?
I am. Yep.
All right, just
Everybody have a good night. I'll see you.
Mark leaving.
See you, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, and appeal number 2023-042, Patricia Baker and David Moir as appellants are appealing the issuance of a building permit BLDR 23-780 issued on November 1, 2023 to E.J. Jacksheimer for the construction of a 3,100 square foot 3-bedroom home for Janet Holian, trustee of Holian Family Realty Trust. The subject property is located at 240 Windswept Way, Osterville, Massachusetts, and 250 Windswept Way, Osterville, Massachusetts, as shown on Assessor's Map 051 as parcel 012-001 and 012-000, respectively. It's located in the Residence F1, RF1, and Resource Protection Overlay District, RPOD. This is continued from January 24, 2024, February 24, 2024, and March 27, 2024. And we did receive correspondence from Attorney Ford. He intends to continue this again tonight. Attorney Ford, whenever you're ready for an update.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the zoning board. Attorney Mike Ford represented Janet Holian, who's the trustee of the Holian Family Realty Trust. I represent the property owner, so I don't represent the appellant before the board. So this is a little different than your normal situation. The building permit was issued to my client, which was appealed by the appellants. And before the last hearing, I reported to the board that I had notified the building commissioner that the lot upon which the building permit, or the lot for which the building permit was issued, did not meet the shape factor required under the zoning ordinance. Well, there were 2 acres.
Attorney Ford, just a point of order. If we're going to go into sort of testimony here, I think I have to assign members. If we're just talking about continuing or not.
I'm not going to give you any testimony. I'm just trying to give you some color as to why I'm requesting a continuance. But
okay,
if you want me to just make it shorter, I'm happy to do that.
I don't want to get into too many of the facts of it if we're not assigning members to take sort of.
That's fine. That's fine. So the report is, since the last time we were here, my client has caused a further survey to be done. A new A&R plan has been filed with the planning board. It will be heard on June 10th. We believe it corrects the issue that was the reason we requested the continuance. But since the planning board hasn't heard it yet, and of course, there are rights of appeal from that planning board decision, we've asked that it be continued further till July 24th. Currently, the building permit is still suspended, so there really isn't a building permit before you at this point.
Okay. Anna, did we hear from the appellants about?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, if I may, Mr. Chair, Benjamin Timon from Timon, Davis, and Duffy in Boston for the co-appellants. We did indicate by email to Ms. Brigham that we are in support of Attorney Ford's suggestion for a further continuance of this proceeding if the ZBA is so inclined. I won't get into sort of context on our side of this, but procedurally, I agree with Attorney Ford that the next step is at the planning board, and will be involved in that process. And if the ZBA is inclined to further continue this until July, it may be that the situation has changed further in July, and the ZBA can decide at that time, whether this appeal of a currently suspended building permit is moot or not, and take into account what may have happened at the planning board and any activities that might arise from a planning board decision on the new A&R plan.
Okay. Any other board members have questions for the appellants and Attorney Ford? Go ahead, Aaron. Did you have something?
I'm willing to make a motion to approve the postponement of this till July 24th.
Okay. So Aaron makes a motion to appeal. To continue this to 2023-042 to July 24th, 2024. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. Roll call vote. Herb Bodenseek.
In favor.
Paul Pinard. Paul's there.
Where'd Paul go?
Oh, Paul's gone.
Fell off.
Aaron Webb,
I'm in favor.
Larry Hurwitz,
Yeah, I'm in favor.
Manny Alves,
In favor.
and I am also in favor. So that will be continued. We'll hope to have a resolve by July.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. All right. Moving along to another order of old business, appeal number 2024-009. Brian M. Bunn and Jeffrey A. Creedon have petitioned for a variance pursuant to section 240-14E bulk regulations in the RC1 and RF residential districts and section 240-126 variance provisions. The petitioners seek a variance to the front and side yard setback requirement to build an accessory structure pool house in the northwest corner of their lot adjacent to their existing in-ground pool and existing walkway and hardscape patio areas and retaining walls. The petitioners propose to reduce the front yard setback to 12.8 feet where 30 feet is required and the side yard setback to 7.7 feet where 15 feet is required. The subject property is located at 157 Pompanesett Road, Katuitt, Massachusetts, as shown on Assessor's Map 019 and Parcel 079. It's located in the Residence FRF zoning district. This is continued from April 10th, 2024. No members were assigned. I believe Mr. Creedon is here to speak to this.
I am. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, Dan Creedon on behalf of the applicants. We're just requesting a continuance to the next scheduled hearing that is available. My clients heard the concerns of the board at the last hearing, which were very helpful, and they have worked a reconfiguration, a significant reconfiguration of the proposed building and the location thereof that is going to, when it comes back, I think the board members who were concerned and expressed objections are going to be pleasantly surprised. It's going to be a much less significant request for variance. The extent of the proposed encroachment is going to be scaled back quite a bit, as will the building itself. And we just haven't had the plans come back from the architect and the engineer yet. We're asking for more time so that we can submit those revised plans for the board's consideration.
All right. Does anyone have any questions or someone want to make a motion? Anna, what would we be looking at for our next meeting that has some space on it? June 12th or?
Well, right now, June 12th has 5 items on it, and on June 26th, there are 4 items on.
Okay. Attorney Creedon, is June 26th acceptable?
It is.
Okay. I say let's put it on June 26th, I guess is probably the best case.
Mr. Chairman, I thought members were assigned already. Am I correct or not?
Must have been. It's Anna. Do you know who was assigned? I didn't see it on the memo. No problem.
No problem.
I don't have it in front of me, but perhaps Jenna has it in front of her.
Yeah, it's okay. No, he just mentioned that they were.
It was Herb, Manny, Aaron, Mark, and Larry.
So I make a motion to approve the continuance to the June 24th hearing on appeal. Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
Oh, you could.
I should let the motion be.
I don't have the number in front of me either, Manny, so it would have been a struggle
June
to find
26th.
it. June 26th, sorry.
We have a second?
Second.
Yep, Manny.
Roll call vote. Herb Boneseek.
I'm in favor.
Mark's not here. Aaron Webb.
In favor.
Larry Hurwitz.
I'm in favor.
Manny Alves.
In favor.
Paul Pinard.
In favor.
And I am also in favor. So Attorney Creedon, you are moved to June 26th.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you. All right. If I'm not skipping anything, we're moving to new business. Appeal number 2024-016. Jay and Betsy James have applied for a special permit pursuant to section 240-91H3, non-conforming lot. The applicant proposes to demolish the existing single-family dwelling, raise the foundation elevation, and construct a new single-family dwelling. The new dwelling will be detached from the garage, leaving the existing non-conforming garage in place. No construction will occur within the setbacks. The subject property is located at 642 South Main Street, Centerville, Mass., as shown on Assessor's Map 186 as parcel 041. It is located in the Residence D1 RD1 zoning district. We did receive an email request dated May 17th from Sand Dollar Customs to continue this to the next available meeting. This is the first request to continue it, so they're not required to be here. Does anyone want to make a motion to continue this to, I mean, I guess now we're looking at July 10th.
July.
And the July 10th is still kind of open, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So
I make a motion to post, continue appeal number 2024-016 to July 10th, 2025.
24. Sorry.
It's go time. 2024, sorry.
I need a second.
I will.
All
Second.
right, Herb second. Roll call vote. Herb Bodenseek,
In favor.
Paul Pinard. Paul, are you still there?
He's muted.
Sound like it.
You're muted, Paul.
Aaron Webb,
I'm in favor.
Larry Hurwitz,
I'm in favor.
Manny Alves,
In favor.
and I'm also in favor. So you have, they're not here, but they're continued. Correspondence, we did receive planning board notice and notification transmittal of subdivision number 829. Public hearing. I don't know what the date of that was.
June 10th.
So there's a June 10th public hearing. Any matters not reasonably anticipated? Anyone?
I do have a question.
Yeah.
When's the appropriate time to get a definition of a pool house? For the 2024-11.
We don't get to make policy or definition, so
Okay.
it's a matter of, I think, making a request of our town councilors that they update our zoning bylaws to specify what that is. Wouldn't that be the correct process, Anna? That would be.
If we don't have a definition in our ordinance for a pool house, then I would seek some advice from town council on how to go about getting it in the ordinance.
Because they would have to vote, they would have to determine it. Someone in the planning department would have to make a proposal sort of idea, and then a councilor would have to bring it to full council for a vote.
Right.
Adopted.
Needs a sponsor.
Yeah.
I'm just, looking at what is proposed and trying to rationalize pool house in my mind.
No, for sure. I mean, after our training last month or the beginning of this month, I think we should keep an ongoing sort of list of some of these things that keep coming up to sort of pitch it back to our town council liaison, who I will encourage to come to our meetings once in a while. And this is a perfect time in a meeting to have that conversation with them to, so they can go back to their bandwidth and push that to be updated.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So upcoming hearings, it sounds like we're very busy. June 12th in person, June 26th.
I don't know. It might be.
June 26th in person, July 10th. June 26th on Zoom. Sounds like 5, July 10th. Are we getting busy, Anna, or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay. July 10th will be in person. July 24th will be back on Zoom. All right. I'll make a motion to adjourn. I need a second.
I'll second that.
All right. Roll call vote. Herb Bodenseek.
In favor. Paul, you can just raise your hand.
Paul Pinard.
He raised it.
Mark Hansen. It's not here. Aaron Webb.
I'm in favor.
Larry Hurwitz.
In favor.
Manny Alves.
In favor.
And I am in favor. So we are adjourned. David.